Good afternoon. Val Cookman coming at you. Today I wanted to go live to talk about 4 shopping tips to eating healthy. I did a live last week on nutrition tips to improve your immunity, and this is kind of along the same lines, but these are like 4 tips next time you go to the store you could be consciously aware of and to make better decisions for your meals for the rest of the week for you and your kids and your family and your husband. It's eating actually is like the cure to most diseases and illnesses because we're eating so much processed food these days. My first tip when you're for shopping is honestly try to keep the caffeine out of your cart. Lower your caffeine consumption, the sugar, and the caffeine in general. We have a lot of juice, pop, even coffee. I'm a huge coffee fanatic. I love my coffee. I've cut it in half though. So what happens with caffeine? It's a drug. Say no to drugs, right? Yeah, we all should. And businesses are taking advantage of the fact that this is a drug. You can't go more than a block in any direction in most cities and suburbs without finding a coffee shop. They're totally taking your money, and basically you're going to get that boost in energy you want, and then you're going to have that huge crash, and you're going to have to keep, it's a cycle, you're going to have to keep feeding it, or you're going to burn out. So stop letting businesses capitalize on the fact we need more energy. There's natural ways to do that, and obviously the stuff we put in pop and the sugar and the fatty creamers and the sugar-laden creamers, all that stuff isn't really helping. With weight loss, is it? Because all sugar is stored as fat in the body. So maybe what I've done is I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore. I just drink it with milk. That's one way to do it. And obviously I have alternatives now with herbal teas that have adaptogens in them that are so much better to drink. If anyone wants any info on that, just message me. Another thing when you're shopping is avoid GMOs. We all have heard of that, genetically modified organisms. This is what they actually insert into the DNA of foods. More than 60% of the foods we're buying in stores these days contain GMOs in them. It's just, we're so busy. As moms, I'm a full-time working mom. It's hard to get a meal in. It's hard to make it. And you're gonna look for the quick fix to make a meal. I get it. I really do, but we have no idea what we're eating. And then we have this increase in allergies and allergies to food like peanuts, milk, and eggs. People were never allergic to that when our parents weren't. You develop a resistance to lactose over time, but yeah, these food allergies that people are coming out with these days, it's because they're genetically modifying our food. Remember, I don't know if a lot of you remember when we had the Roundup scare with corn. They're genetically modifying the corn we're eating by putting Roundup in it. Turns out that's being fed. They did a recall on a bunch of this stuff, but that's also now these days that's exactly what cattle are eating, and we're getting that meat and eating it. It can't be good. You're screwing with nature. The turnout of that is it's ridiculous. So basically what I'm going to tell you is buy certified organic. You're going to have to look for it. Make sure it's certified organic. It doesn't have any steroids, hormones, antibiotics, any of that. It's not modified at all. Or even better, make your own garden, get your own fruits and vegetables that aren't modified too. That's the best bet. It's ridiculous what they're doing to food, and we're not even paying attention to it, honestly. Just be more aware of what you're shopping for. And certified organic could be more money. Or you can go to a farmer's market or swap seeds at a local library. I guess somebody was actually telling me that they actually do seed swaps for organic seeds. So you can go whatever you have in your garden, grab seeds from that and swap it out and improve your garden that way. Cheaper alternative. The third thing when shopping is make sure you're purchasing fresh herbs and spices and using them in cooking. I mean, remember our parents and your parents' parents, your grandparents, they didn't cook the way we cooked. they cooked food. Home cooked meals, like comfort food, what we know to be comfort food, that was food made by hand, homemade at home, and it used fresh spices and herbs. There was nothing wrong with that. It's what we should be doing. We should go back to the basics and start cooking our food that way. Honestly, we don't need half the crap they're putting in the food. We have no idea. So there's a spice rack, and back then there was a spice rack in everybody's kitchen. I don't know, like, I still have a spice rack, but like the fresh and honest herbs, that's the best. And they actually have adaptogens and like even like essential oils these days. They're made from herbs because they have yes, back to basics, Lauren, you understand. Like even there's essential oils that have herbs in them and adaptogenic herbs. They increase our immune system. They help our immunity, those fresh herbs. I'm actually, if you notice, like once or twice a week I'll post an herb or a fruit or vegetable and the benefits you get from eating it. This is what I'm talking about. This is like food can actually cure our illnesses and diseases, and we're gonna go pump ourselves full of medicine to try to mask the problem. It's not gonna solve it. This is how we can solve our problems. Back to basics. Cook your meals. Use fresh herbs because they have they increase your immunity and your resistance to things, and adaptogens will help too, whatever you're missing. Because I know sometimes we're not going to always have time to cook this home cooked meal. I get it. Meal prep really helps, so I suggest doing that. But if you're going to be eating processed food, you can always do natural supplementation using adaptogenic herbs. It's honestly it's a time saver. But go back to basics and let's start cooking our meals the way. Go grab those recipes from your grandmother. Start cooking the meals again. The meal prep's great. If you need help with meal prep, reach out to me. I am like I work full time and I can manage to make lunches all week, so you can too. I'll show you how. The fourth thing with a shopping tip, and this is probably one of the most important as well, is purchase free range meats. This goes for anything because they're feeding this corn, this GMO corn to the cattle to get it, and they're putting them in these little pens and feeding them the corn, and then you're going to be eating it. And the free range, you get to roam freely and eat. There's not that much risk for disease among the cattle that way. When you're putting them in these feedlots to eat, they're going to get diseases and sicknesses, and then they're pumping them full of steroids and antibiotics to cure that. And then you're eating it. Can't be good. You don't need any of that stuff. So free range is the way to go because of that. Another thing is, like, basically almost all of chickens that are not organic are full of hormones and steroids because they're trying to beef them up and get them out as quickly as possible for everybody to eat. Not even healthy. You're putting stuff in your body you don't need. So always, always, always buy cage-free eggs and organic chicken. Always. Another option for meat that we haven't screwed up as a country in a food service yet is bison or buffalo. So if you can find bison or buffalo in the stores, purchase it. It's probably way better than any other beef you're getting. Our food industry, you just need to be informed. The food industry it's making us sick, and we need to do something about it, and this is what we're going to do about it. We, as moms and dads, we need to be informed on this and take care of our children and ourselves and our health, because we're going to have so many much more illnesses and diseases as we get older because of what they're doing to our food. So just be informed and make the right decisions. There's 4 tips right there for shopping. I'm going to come out with more in the week. If you have any questions, leave them below. And thank you everybody for hopping on here. If you have any comments you'd like to add in support or against what I'm saying, please do. We'll start a conversation after this. Actually, if you want to watch my future lives, up in the corner there, the little downward facing arrow, you can save it for later. If you are just hopping on to watch it later, save it. You can also click to be notified when I go live. It'll just give you a nice little ring so you can hop on or save it for later. And be sure to follow me. And you guys have a great day. Thanks for hopping on.